These guys, when they are beating us, where you see the corruption everywhere, from healthcare, education, they have tampered with the education system. You don't tamper with the education system of any country, my friend Moses.
No, listen.
I think we have so many.
First, the point is this. What Moses is saying is right.
The founding father, if he does a mistake.
In my opinion, Kenya has never had a founding father, because if finding a home is destroying it, then you never found it. Because the point is this: look at Tanzania, Mwalimu Nyerere. He created foundations, firm foundations. However much Tanzania has been trying to get off track with perhaps one leader coming in, they are stable. Because after every 5 or 10 years, at least someone else comes in and follows the channels that Mwalimu Nyerere had laid.
Yeah, it's true. So what do we do now? No, even if you blame them, if the founding father, 1978 was dead. Yeah? It's a lot of years since then.
Yeah.
We should ask ourselves as a nation. You see,
listen.
Let me
have to do correction.
Okay. Correction is this
keep
one.
Blaming him.
No, correction is this one.
What do we do?
We have to stop electing people that their fathers they were president.
No.
The dynasty thing.
No.
Because when you elect someone because his father was a president, and if his father did a mistake, the son can also do.
No.
And that is exactly that is what
you can never be jailed for your father's mistake.
No, listen. And that is what we call it a dynasty. That is why we call it a dynasty. Someone picks the mistakes of the father, tries to implement them, tries to correct them. In the process of correcting, makes even worse mistakes. Look at all these countries that are failing all over the continent. All these countries that are failing all over the continent, apart from Botswana, where former head of state,
the son,
he's doing
very well.
That was the only country where it almost worked. But the rest of the rest of the countries where individuals have made presidential offices, monarchies, at the end of the day, they have failed. Now, let me tell you this:
if the father was bad,
definitely the son becomes evil.
And if the father was good, and the son wants to become. The problem is, you said it's wrong to elect. You put everyone together. The problem is this. Let me tell you one thing. The mistake we do. You see, every single country that is stable and is development conscious, takes care of the future of its generation. Just do only 4 things in particular. In fact, 3 or 4. One, you take care of the education of your population. Yeah? Depending on which leader. I'll come back to the issue of the monarchs and the dynasty. I'm coming there. You take care of the education system, stable, make it free or affordable. Take care of the health sector, free or affordable. Take care of the pension scheme of your guys. The problem is, we are looking at these guys as dynasties. Go to the UK, they have a monarch. Just a minute. Stable. We have even a new partner here. It's okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. You see, they have a monarch, he's stable. Morocco, you see, Morocco, they have a dynasty. In fact, a monarch, he's stable. Go to Israel, they have a silent president and a prime minister. It's stable. And go to France, they have a monarch. The president keeps changing, but the monarch is constant. Go to Spain, go to Italy. Yeah, they have the Pope and they have the Prime Minister.
Okay.
You find one thing.
You said that.
You find one thing.
Okay.
The problem is this with this place. We want to blame everybody. The problem is if the founding father did mistakes, Moi has been there for 24 years. You see? And again,
what did Moi do?
No.
Moi said when he was coming to power in 1978, he said that naenda kufuata nyayo.
But he never fought the Nyayo.
And do you know what the Nyayo? Do you know the Nyayo was?
He never fought the Nyayo.
Listen, the Nyayo he was following, the footsteps he was following, were corruption, political assassinations, land grabbing, and he followed them to the latter. Economic sabotage. Let me tell you, the people of Central. Do you know why the people of Central? Listen, do you know why the people of Central Province? The former Central Province, the people of Central. Have always been very apprehensive whenever another leader from any other tribe wants to come into power. They have a fear because of the 24 years they passed in the hands of Moi. Total sabotage of economic growth.
But every community suffered.
Parks like the park here, there is a Freedom Square here, which we wanted to name after Wangari Maathai.
Freedom Corner.
The Freedom Corner here.
In fact, it's named after her anyway.
Yes, it should be named after her. Wangari Maathai stripped naked here. She was beaten in Karura. And that is now that is the violent face of of the Moi regime. Now the economic sabotage. I wish you went to Central Province and saw how those energetic people, those hard-working people. Now listen,
the coffee industry was
the Western was not okay either.
Exactly.
Look at
Nyanza okay?
Nyanza was totally destroyed.
So everywhere.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much. And do you know the reason why?
Yeah.
We inherited an economy that was robust from the British. They had systems. They have an education system. They had a political system. They had there is no day. Let me tell you this. You can take this. Listen. You can take this to the bank and cash it. There is no single day a British governor, a British DC, would grab land. What happened when Kenya when our fellow natives took power? They decided that PC, there is even a PC who was in Central Province. He's all the way from Western.
But he went to get around.
You got very huge land, chunks of land in Central where people are landless. Why? Because he was the PC. He was the chairman of the provincial land committee. So he can allocate himself land. There's no single day a British administrator could take land for himself. Now listen, and that is why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying.
We have a problem.
We have a problem. No, listen.
Right now in Hong Kong, the founding fathers made a mistake rushing out from the British. You see?
Yes.
But right now, the generation that is there in Hong Kong right now is correcting it. You see? Everyone out, including, you look at the umbrella revolution, for example. It's like Haki Na Ukweli Foundation organization, for example. It's a organization from just a student starting it, the umbrella. Right now, everyone in Hong Kong, 1 million plus march, going outside every week, forcing changes. Not even today alone. They started even 3-4 years ago. And you find those people, they don't sit down and just they believe this one did this, the founding fathers did this, they are correcting it now. The problem is, when you Moses right now, you are trying to correct it. It's our fellow poor men and women who will castigate you. In fact, they'll even beat you. So the problem is, we keep blaming the founding. Yes, the founding father made mistakes. He's not 100%. He's a human being, by the way.
He's a human being.
But the problem is, the population we have now. You see, the population we have now. When the baby is being shot on that floor, on that staircase, they will tell you, no, the mother was not careful. Should have put that kid on there. You see?
But you said
that's
that. No. He said about education. I want to say something. Kenya has a free education. Kenya has a free education. So you can't say that we don't have education. We are speaking English because the British left for us a system of education. We still, everybody in Kenya, I believe they have finished at least primary school. So education is not a little problem. I'm going back
it's
again.
Around 67%.
Let me go back to the founding father. Why I'm so much in this. Look like a country like Tanzania, South Africa. Those presidents, they even like Mandela, Nelson Mandela. He went for 1 term. You know, Kenyatta was supposed, if you count 2 terms for Kenyatta. If Kenyatta wanted
to kill them,
no.
He's a long time ago.
I know.
He's a long time ago.
You can imagine, if that man wanted to leave a good system, he could have ruled from 1964 until 1974. That is 2 terms and then go home.
But then there was term limit. But then there was term limit.
He could not have allowed the term limit.
Because if Nelson Mandela did it.
Let me do something.
I want to introduce another subject here. Yes. We Africans, we tend to have socialist and monarchical way of thinking. But we also need to understand and define what is democracy to us Africans.
Yes. To us Africans?
Yes. It's easy to blame a leader.
Interesting.
Yes, it's very easy to blame someone or everyone. But what is democracy to us? What is the open society? What is the liberal democracy? What is an economy? We forget all that and then we focus to the leader. I think it was the president of Ghana had saying like we Africans we need to take this idea of doing an MP as an angel, someone who comes promising heaven. And yet this guy ends up taking us to hell. So that's also defined from an African point of view.
From an African point of view, democracy has always been there. And by the way, it should be understood that the colonizers of Africa, because after all colonization was put into place in 1885 by the Berlin Conference that scrambled and partitioned Africa. But that is not the beginning of Western democracy. That doesn't mean that by the coming in of the whites, that was not the beginning of democracy. Africa had democracy. Africa had democracy where a council of elders could sit in the Kiama. The cultural, and they could take views. You could be listened to. A citizen could bring problems to the council of elders, and they could
sort it out.
And I think I can explain a little bit of democracy. Democracy is a fair system. I believe, is a fair system. When you govern people or you govern a country with a fair system, democracy, that nobody is crying, no poverty, you are fighting poverty. You know, the education system, he's saying good leadership, 1-term or 2-term rule, not routing system or grabbing system. I think that is what we call democracy.
But the funny thing is,
fair system.
The funny thing is, let me explain a little bit.
society.
Let me explain something a bit. The funny thing is this: we are looking at problems without looking at the root cause. There's only one root cause: the population. Do you know right now?
Yeah.
You see, for example, election results are being released. No, education results.
Yes.
When they're being released, exam results, you see, the Kenyans are happy when they find that more than half of their Form 4 students get D- and E.
Yes.
Not knowing, right now in this country, you cannot even apply for a P1 teacher course for primary schools with even a D+. You need a C-. That's what they put. You cannot even go to police service just carrying a gun and running around. Yeah? With that D-. You see, General? You see, Chris? In the process, what are they doing? They are making sure that there is more than half of every single time we release candidates out who can do nothing. The best they can do, they are being told, go and become a plumber. Yeah? And already, with this country, we have people who have done plumbing through the Juakali setup, no certification, they don't have a job. You see, the problem is this. This kind of guys you are bringing in, these guys you are bringing into the job market that is insecure and unreliable, these guys will have to survive. What do? They start running around, scrambling for anything. So we find the politicians, it becomes easy for the politicians to go and just pick a group, you know, doing things they want with them. And that's the reason you see in this country, as long as we don't fix the education system, if you go to the British, they have never changed the education system. You see, you just change the curriculum, yeah, what people learn, do the change of times, but don't ever change the system. In this place, you change it like a cloth.
Now listen, the problem why we are changing the system as a cloth, it's a business. You know, when you change the education system, when you change the education system, it means you are going to make money from printing the materials, education materials. You are going to sell the books. You are going to
import tools
and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it has been commercialized. And once you commercialize the education of your people without giving quality to the education itself, at the end of the day, you find that is a lost country.
Yeah.
Now, back to the point. It is corruption. Corruption. That is corruption because individuals cannot sit in that parliament or whatever office and decide that they are changing the education system.
Some of them failed miserably.
Yes, they are failures. Now they have created an education system where they want everyone to have passed. Even your fingers on your hands are never equal. We must have people of different classes and qualities and stuff.
Okay, let me bring in something else, which is very interesting.
Please explain democracy. You started the question.
No, I want to bring in. Okay, democracy for me, I refer to it as an open society.
Yes.
Yes, given by rule.
Fair system.
Yes,
fair system.
An open. I'm going to call it an open.
An open society.
Yes, whereby the rule of law is the overall supreme that governs a people. So now, can the African problems be solved through socialist means? Because given that Kenya is a democratic and a capitalist, and we all know capitalism in a way incubates these greedy leaders. And that's something that we are not going to, get away from. Corrupt leaders tutakuwa now.
But the point is this. Unajua nini?
You
have a point. You have a point here. You have a point here. Through the rule of law. Listen, through the rule of law, who writes the law? The same corrupt fellas. They're in that parliament. We went there. You remember, all of us went to that parliament for a demonstration.
For a demonstration.
And I even warned them that next time they see our faces there, it will not be business as usual. Now the point is this: it is them who write. If we talk about the rule of law, they write those bad laws where you will never take these fellas to jail. They know how to appeal cases.
And that's something else with capitalist democracy, because these guys, they can, make laws and bend them to their favors. So then, can we then try as Africans try another system, a nationalist system?
But can I say something?
Thank you very much. And that is the route we should take, and that is the same route. We are balancing both.
Yes.
It's like carrying the intestines of a slaughtered animal. They keep shifting from one, so the citizen will be the intestines. They are trying to carry us, and these intestines might spill on their bodies with all the contents inside, spill on their clothes. Do you know why? We might go the socialist way, go frog march those fellas out of that parliament.
Yeah.
Because of the way they,
And
because the rule of law, because Moses, the rule of law has never been fair. Because we can have the rule of law, we can have justice, but with unfair justice. Because listen, for instance, a man who has been found having taken a chicken has been jailed for 3 years for stealing.
Yeah, even
now,
7.
yes.
And yesterday we read about something in the newspaper that 2 gentlemen, they were jailed for 12 months because of stealing a bread and sugar.
Yeah.
12 months. You can imagine an unfair system we have in Kenya.
No,
and the
Moses,
you know, the last few 3 months, we had a drought.
The problem is this. Moses, the problem is this.
You know,
Moses, the problem is this.
There's no food in
Yes,
Kenya.
the problem is this. The problem is this. Yes, there's no food. They don't care. You see, now they're planning to import maize because they have refused to buy the maize from the farmers. For one reason.
Yeah.
Whenever you have a system of governance, I told you this thing. You see, issue of state. Whenever you mix state affairs, well, with political events or political players, the future of that population becomes uncertain. And that's the reason you find the politicians, the politicians find it easy. Even people who the only birth certificate they have that is genuine is their birth certificate. The rest is questionable, including their baptism cards.
Yes.
The birth certificate is only the original. Those guys now want to determine your future. And the way they are doing it, they know that we as a population, we have refused to understand the difference between state affairs and government services.
Okay.
Government is about service delivery.
Yeah.
The moment you tamper with state affairs, automatically the service delivery becomes weak. And if there's no service delivery, you see, naturally, the population suffers.
But the bench is hot. The bench is hot. But I think this will be continued. This is to be continued. This is to be continued.
We have a corruption discussion.
Yeah,
will be continued.
Thank you.
We have another one.
Thank you, gentlemen and women.
Wait,